a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Luke Cage, Season 2. The second season of the American web television series Luke Cage, which is based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name, sees Cage become a hero and celebrity in Harlem after clearing his name, only to face a new threat. It is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, sharing continuity with the films and other television series of the franchise. The season was produced by Marvel Television in association with ABC Studios, with Cheo Hodari Coker serving as showrunner. Mike Colter stars as Cage, alongside returning principal cast members Simone Missick, Rosario Dawson, Alfre Woodard, and Theo Rossi. They are joined by Mustafa, Shakir, and Gabrielle. The second season was ordered in December 2016, and filmed in New York City from June to November 2017. Coker again emphasized music in the season. Adrian, Younge and Ali Shaheed Muhammad returned to compose the original score, with musical influences on the series including blues and reggae. Various artists once again give performances throughout the season, and each episode is named after a Pete Rock and CL Smooth song. Finn Jones guest stars in the season as Danny Rand, Iron Fist, allowing the heroes for hire relationship between Cage and Rand to be depicted. The season was released on June 22, 2018. Development. In January 2015, Netflix CCO Ted Sarandos stated the series was eligible to go into multiple seasons for sure, and Netflix would look at how well they are addressing both the Marvel fanbase, but also the broader fanbase, in terms of determining if additional seasons would be appropriate. In July 2015, Sarandos said some of the Defenders series would selectively have multiple seasons as they come out of the gate. Regarding a second season, showrunner Cheo Hodari Coker stated he had a few ideas, including possibly exploring the hero for hire aspect of Luke Cage, though noted he was not taking any of this for granted. In terms of feeling a second season renewal from Netflix was guaranteed. Actor Mike Colter also felt heroes for hire could be explored in future seasons, as well as further exploring Cage's lifestyle change regarding his relationship with Jessica Jones, and introducing the couple's daughter. In December 2016, Netflix renewed the series for a second season, of 13 episodes. Coker compared the season to A Tribe Called Quest's second album The Low End Theory, saying, "Their first album People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm was great, but then Low End Theory was the record that everyone says when they think of A Tribe Called Quest taking it to the next level. That's my hope for Season 2, is that we have some of the similar sounds, but we go in a deeper direction." Coker also noted that music would continue to be an important element for the season and that Harlem would still be at the heart and its center for the series. Writing. In July 2017, Colter said the writing for the season was different from the first, because we know the show now. We know the world that we're in, and we know sort of what works and what doesn't work, and we're just gonna double down on that stuff, so look forward to a very exciting and very relevant and pop culture heavy show. He added that after the first season and the crossover miniseries The Defenders, Cage would have a whole new outlook on life, and would not be dealing with the judicial system anymore. Coker explained that the storyline for the season did not come from any particular iteration of the comics, and instead was based on the characters that appear, who is Luke Cage, and getting much deeper into that, but also finding out different things about Mariah Dillard, also finding out things about Misty Knight, including getting her mechanical arm, and what that entails from an emotional standpoint. In particular, the new villains introduced for the season and their abilities impacted the story in terms of what that represents against Luke. Each episode of the season is named after a Pete Rock and CL Smooth song, just as Coker named each episode of the first season after a Gang Starr song. Casting. Colter returns to star as Cage, along with Simone Missick as Misty Knight, Rosario Dawson as Claire Temple, Alfre Woodard as Mariah Dillard, and Theo Rossi as Hernan Shades Alvarez. In July 2017, Marvel announced the casting of Mustafa Shakir as John McIver and Gabrielle as Tilda Johnson. Thomas Q. Jones reprises his role as Comanche in the season, along with Danny Johnson as Benjamin Donovan, and Justin Swain as Mark Bailey. In October 2017, it was revealed that Finn Jones would be reprising his role as Danny Rand, Iron Fist, in the season. Colter explained that there had been interest from fans to see more of the previously established relationship between Cage and Jessica Jones, but for this season they went out on a limb and decided to give to the fans of the Heroes for Hire instead by having Cage and Rand team up for part of the season. He added that Finn Jones will bring some fresh blood in the new season. Jessica Hennick also reprises her Iron Fist role, appearing as Colleen Wing, following the death of Reggie Cathy in February 2018. Marvel revealed that his final performance was as Luke Cage's father James Lucas in this season. The character appeared briefly in the first season, portrayed by an unnamed actor. In March 2018, Annabella Shora was announced to have been cast in the key role of Rosalie Carboni. The next month, Antonique Smith joined the cast as Detective Nundy Tyler, a longtime rival of Misty Knight. Additionally, Eldon Henson reprises his role as Foggy Nelson from previous Marvel/Netflix series. Music. In July 2017, Colter said that the second season would have another feel to it, in terms of the music, praising the season's musical guests, and explaining that he and Coker had chosen a certain type of music for the season after listening to it at a birthday party, and agreeing that there had not been one bad song played. Coker later explained that the season would explore the roots of hip-hop with blues and reggae, after the first season introduced hip-hop to the MCU. He added that the season would explore the entire diaspora of black music, along with different cultures. Adrian, Younge and Ali Shaheed Muhammad again composed the score for the season, working out of Younge's studio Linear Labs. Their music for the season included a 50-minute epic for one of the episodes. Coker described the pair as being as important to the success of the show as anyone in the cast, anyone directing, anyone writing, producing, period. Coker wanted to have live musical performances in the season again after the first, and hoped that some musicians who had turned him down for the first season would be happy to join the second after getting to see the series. He noted that the idea of performing in the series was not a home run in terms of the music community during the first season, and he had to call in a lot of favors from his time as a music journalist to get the performers who did appear. For the second season, he was able to show footage of the first season performances as well as point out where musicians who performed on the show received immediate streaming bumps from fans discovering them through the series, with Coker subsequently having his choice of acts. The season includes live performance from Faith Evans, returning from the first season, along with Joy and Dean Nice, Gary Clark Jr. Esperanza Spalding, Christone, Kingfish, Ingram, Ghostface Killer, Stephen Marley, Jadakiss, KRS-One, and Rakim. The latter wrote an original song for the series, which he performs in the season finale. The season also includes music from Nina Simone and Mobb Deep. Marketing. An advanced screening of the season will be hosted by Spotify, Netflix, and the Kennedy Center on June 19, to be followed by an after-party featuring musical performances KRS-One, Younge, and Muhammad, and surprise guests. The season will have its red carpet premiere in New York City on June 21, 2018. Critical response. The review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes reported a 83% approval rating with an average rating of 7.18 based on 26 reviews. The website's critical consensus reads, Marvel's Luke Cage surpasses the successes of its debut season with a satisfyingly complex narrative and a solid ensemble cast led by Alfre Woodard's standout performance as the arch-villainous Black Mariah. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned a score of 66 out of 100 based on 7 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Awarding the excellent season 4 out of 4 stars, Ollie Richards of Empire said, most of Marvel's superhero series suffer a mid-season sag, without enough plot to fill their episode quota. This season never succumbs to that, because it's not rooted in plot, but character. There are episodes where little happens in terms of event, but characters deepen and crack, becoming less who they want to be, and more who they have to be. Even Luke Cage could now remove any superhero elements almost entirely and still function as a series. David Betancourt of The Washington Post felt the season was spectacular, full of unforgettable performances, and has not one, but 2 top-notch villains. Though he felt the season started slow, the later episodes are where the magic happens. Alison Keene at Colter felt the last few episodes are fantastic. It just takes a lot to get there. Keene also felt there are plenty of things this season does well, really well, but there is so much filler and narrative dragging of feet in between that it's hard to recommend it outright, awarding the season 3 stars out of 4. CNN's Brian Lowry was more critical of the season, feeling the season was weaker than the first, noting it was not bad overall, but still experiencing the equivalent of a sophomore slump. Similar to Lowry, Alan Sepinwall at Rolling Stone gave the season 2 stars out of 4, noting the 13-episode season had only 3 or 4 episodes worth of story at best. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?